Alright, so I just got out of seeing Hard Eyes and that was not the movie that I thought I was getting. It's gory, it's funny, it's campy, it's over the top in all of the best ways, and honestly, it's one of the most fun slashers I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's break down the movie Hard Eyes and why this movie absolutely rips. Okay, so the premise for Hard Eyes is pretty simple. Every year, this masked killer known as the Heart Eyes Killer, or HEK for short, he picks a new city and hunts down couples on Valentine's Day. And this time, it's Seattle's turn. And right at the center of all of this chaos, we have Allie and Jay, played by Olivia, Holt, and Mason Gooding, who are just trying to survive what is easily the worst Valentine's Day of their lives. So right away, this movie just hooks you. It starts off as this rom-com, very corny, very cheesy, and then it quickly reminds you what you're watching, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a slasher movie. And then from there, it just goes for it. And speaking of being a slasher, this movie does not hold back on the gore. This thing is brutal. The kills are nasty, they're creative, and they are over the top. It is something to see. And somehow in the middle of all of that, they find a way to make you laugh. Now let's go ahead and talk about the killer's design for a second, because I really dug it. And at first I thought the killer looked kind of cheesy with the hard eyes on the mask, and it just didn't really work for me in the trailers, but in the context of the movie, whenever they light up or anytime he's on screen, it worked. Now as far as the Hard Eyes Killer himself, this isn't Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, just a very slow stalking killer. HEK is way more of a ghost face or the killer from Thanksgiving, that type of vibe. He's taunting, he's fast, and he's always very in the moment. And one of the many weapons that he uses are arrows. He has these cool retractable arrows that he can put in the crossbow or to do whatever he wants with them, and it just reminds you that, oh yeah, kind of like Cupid. It's little things like that that remind you that you're watching a Valentine's Day movie. And he also has a giant machete that reminds you that you're also watching a slasher. Now what really makes this movie stand out is how hard it leans into both genres. Like this is just as much as a rom-com as it is a slasher. First it's scary, then it's funny, then it's scary, then it's funny.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
And listen, that could have gone horribly wrong. So many horror comedies try to do both and end up just not doing good at either of those things. But Hard Eyes, it balances the tone perfectly. The dialogue, the banter between Allie and Jay, it's actually funny. Like not just, haha, I see what you did there. It's genuinely funny because of the chemistry that Olivia, Holt, and Mason Gooding bring to the movie. And this is really weird to say as far as a slasher goes, but you want to see the two leads survive. They're charming, they're likable, and you just want to see where their story goes from here, which is the weirdest thing to say as far as these movies go. And just to paint you a picture of the banter between these two characters, Jay's this very smooth, suave guy trying to pick up Allie. He's very nice to her, and then when things go wrong and they are being hunted down, the sarcasm comes out and they're just bickering the whole time, and it feels very funny and not forced, but just genuinely funny. Now for my fellow horror nerds, let's take a second and appreciate who else is in this movie. Devon, Sawa, and Jordana Brewster are playing detectives named Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah, like this Hobbs and Shaw. Like come on, that was amazing. Yes, it was intentional, and yes, I loved it. I remember sitting in the theater and just thinking to myself, wait, why? Why is that in this? It makes no sense whatsoever in this universe, and I love the movie even more because of how random they got with the jokes. So not only is this movie packed with little winks and nods to classic horror movies, classic rom-coms, but also movies like that, and that's what makes this movie so much fun to watch. Okay, so does Hard Eyes do anything new for either genres, rom-coms or horrors? Not really. It's not reinventing horror, it's not making any deep statements, but what it's trying to do, what it sets out to do, it excels at. It knows exactly what kind of movie it wants to be, and it commits fully. It's a fun, gory, hilarious Valentine's Day slasher, and it's exactly what you're hoping for. So would I recommend Hard Eyes? Yes, 100 times yes. If you're a slasher fan, if you love horror comedies, if you can handle a little bit of blood, actually, if you can handle a lot of blood, you're gonna have a great time with this one. It's fun, it's fast paced, and it's got that perfect mix of horror and humor. It's exactly the kind of movie that you wanna throw on with your friends, grab some snacks, and just enjoy as a group. Hard Eyes could have been a disaster. It could have easily fallen flat, but instead it surprised me, it made me laugh, made me cringe, and honestly, I'm already looking forward to another watch. And I'm actually kind of curious if this is gonna be another franchise moving forward. It plays it very close to how the Scream movies are. Tons of fun over there. This one's a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, if it makes a lot of money, doesn't matter if it's justified to make another sequel, we're getting another one. And if you need even more of a reason to watch it, I put out a poll asking what you all thought about Hard Eyes, and it looks like most of you enjoyed it too. So yeah, definitely go check this one out. And if you've seen it, let me know in the comments down below. Did it work for you? What was your favorite kill? Let's talk about it. And if you love horror movies, I have plenty more content just like this one. You can check it out right here. Until the next video, everybody, see you later.